In 1820, a new cemetery was built on this site as the town of Sydney grew. It was used until 1901, when the bodies were exhumed and moved to other cemeteries, and the site was flattened to make way for building Central Station.
The new cemetery is a large and commodious one, situated on an open and airy ascent and commanding a picturesque view of the city. The tombs and monuments which are erected over the dead are many of them handsome pieces of sculpture.
Cara, or Carew, Cora Gooseberry, was a prominent woman of the Murrow-Ordeal clan of Port Jackson who was buried here in 1852. But the cemetery closed in 1867 as the grounds were full to capacity and the people of Sydney had to be buried elsewhere.
For years we have looked through the railings and wondered vaguely who was buried there, or how long ago.
I have often walked through this desolate place and wondered at the long grass and tangled undergrowth which pulled the headstones into drunken attitudes.
A few weeks ago, this cemetery was very seldom entered by visitors. Rusty bolts fastened gates, scarcely ever disturbed by the foot of man.
The old burial ground has for over 20 years been closed to the further encroachments of the dead, and now is to give way to conveniences for the living.
Owing to the intention of the government to resume the area for the purpose of building a new railway station.
The labours of the army of men in clearing away scrub, undergrowth and trees have revealed many memorials in excellent preservation.
Surveyors are engaged along the Devonshire Street side in making a careful plan of the position of each grave and records of the inscriptions.
During the past fortnight, large numbers of people have been daily arriving to give directions as to the disposition of their buried relatives.
The surveyors' tapes and lolly-stick-looking poles with gay flags fluttering are everywhere, taking measurements for the future beautification of Sydney.
The work of clearing and levelling is now well in hand.
It all looks like something quite novel. No wonder Sydney is awake over it.
For 120 years, Central Station stood here. In 2019, during excavations for the construction of Central Metro Station, archaeologists discovered burial vaults, graves and coffins, many historic artefacts. The coffin nameplate of Joseph Thomson, a prominent Sydney businessman and church deacon who died in 1858, and thousands of everyday objects from the 1800s. Memorial services were held with descendants to commemorate the few identifiable remains that were found. Now, Central Metro Station stands on this site. It's amazing to think of the layers of history that lie beneath.